What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We out here about to check out Requiem for a Dream by HELIUM. Got Beatbox cover. Very interested in hearing what this sounds like. Super excited. HELIUM always gets me going. So let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up, baby. All right, hold on before he goes in. See, what I like about what he's got going on here, right? He's obviously got the main melody covered, right? And then once he starts introducing kind of like the beat, right? The main melody almost kind of sounds, a little off, but this works a little bit, right? You guys who's familiar with the with boom bap, right? And what makes it really, really popular, and lo-fi as well, what makes it really popular is the unquantization of things, right? So things don't automatically just fall on, for instance, this song I think was created in 4/4. I think it's a different time signature, but for all intents and purposes, he's doing this in 4/4. It's not just staying on a beat like 1, 2, 3. It's coming ever so slightly, which is kind of giving it that boom bap feel, right? And that's what I like about it. Even the drums, I think, is of a boom bap nature, where you just kind of have the kick and the snare, not really, really getting busy. Now he's transitioning. Obviously, the drum's going to get very, very busy. I'm very interested in seeing how he's going to continue having the melody going while also introducing more intricate layers of the drums. But those are my first impressions so far. So now let's talk about how he was able to continue to keep everything in tune, right? The dun, 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 over and over and over again as he started adding in some more drums. Now, I believe that was a outward this is what happens when you're a casual beatbox fan, right? Kind of like a outward, what do you call it? Outward lip roll, or like a like almost like a raspberry, if you will. So obviously you have to have that technique down to be able to keep doing it over and over again, but once he starts using more of his lips to do these other sounds, right, then you got to kind of remember that feeling that you did when he was doing the sound to make sure that still comes out and sounds consistent. And not only that, but you got to be in tune, or at least somewhat close to it. And I didn't think he was like too pitchy. It came through super clear while also introducing intricate drums. Now that by itself, right, is amazing to me. Oh, we got a riser. See how clean and consistent it is? Oh, this is dubstep right here. Switch. Bro, this man is hitting every note, and it's so consistent, man. See, HELIUM is that dude. way that, he's incorporating his breath, like deciding when to breathe, of course, I know is important in beatbox. And honestly, if you're very clever, you can kind of work that in the sound, in your whole entire, sound design and everything. That, that's something I could imagine hearing in, like, production. Like if I was to go into a digital audio workstation and actually start doing something like that, I would want to make sure that the beat's like interesting at least, right? Especially if I'm going to have something looping like that. So I would throw in little Foley sounds or whatnot, or even like a reverse clap, or that little breath thing that he did. Now, if you were listening, if you wasn't watching this and you just closed your eyes and you were listening to it on, just audio, then you probably would have thought that that was just another sound out of the many sounds that he's making, and not necessarily him taking a breath. And I think that's definitely what makes a good beatboxer. Beatboxers, the continuity, and when they're beatboxing, that just makes everything so freaking seamless. And I feel like that's a skill within its own, right? Like probably one of the first things that you want to practice when you are beatboxing, or at least when you start chaining a bunch of techniques that you've been practicing, is making sure you have proper breath control. Because the last thing you want to do in the middle of a routine, right, is run out of breath, because then that just kind of destroys your whole entire flow. I think maybe, by just my opinion, that breath control, out of all the skills that all the beatboxers have mastered, is often overlooked. At least that's just my opinion. It may not be. All right, let's keep it going. This man just went full on demon. That's the way where did that come from? And he just kept going lower and lower. And ladies and gentlemen, Helium, man, come on. The sound, the musical notes was on point, right? I really love the different type of things that he went through, with this cover, and introducing, those elements of hip hop, and of course adding in his own kind of personality and stuff in here. That was an absolutely amazing performance. What we got here? Sound and video quality. Tried to record this video for 8 hours in a row, so my sound card overheated. Wheezing began to appear on the recording. Tried to clear the sound as much as possible. See, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, man. We only kind of see like the aftermath, right? But I'm glad he put this here, because it almost, most of us probably already has that appreciation. But I just want to express that I have the super amount of appreciation for the talents and stuff that they do. I actually have a couple of videos a while back that I recorded of me attempting to beatbox. I followed tutorials and everything. I think I only did like maybe 3 of them. Okay. And I feel like to get a good understanding, I think it's more than just listening, but to get like a good understanding of, the type of things that these beatboxers do, is you just try to replicate some of these sounds, on your own. And then you go and listen to them again with like this new understanding, because now you've done some practice, or you at least attempted to do the sounds. And then you see them doing it one after another while throwing in other types of advanced techniques and things. Once I started trying to do that on my own, then, it just opened up a new level of appreciation that I have for these beatboxers. You know what I mean? So he said 8 hours in a row, right? This is the stuff it takes to get a good performance, right? He doesn't just pick up the mic. I mean, we've seen them do that in like little freestyle circles and everything. Most of the time, I think when they're doing stuff like that, they're practicing, or they're going to be doing sounds, you know, in like a freestyle beatbox versus people hanging out. They're going to be doing types of sounds that, you know, they're confident that they can do, you know. But this one looks like it was quite a bit of a, you know, based off what he said, 8 hours. You know, this took some practice. So this is HELIUM just pushing himself, right? And I love that, right? You like to see that in artists, for them to keep pushing themselves. And he said another 6 hours, his spotlight burned out. And in the middle of the video, the picture became different. Fortunately, you have time to re-record. So you try to make a beautiful video for what you managed to record. I think you did excellent. Honestly, I don't even think you needed, you know, this type of explanation, right? We already know the type of quality and stuff, HELIUM, that you produce. And I always like to assume positive intent whenever something like this happens. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I know what your quality is. So if it sounds, you know, the quality isn't there, then obviously there are some technical difficulties. I've had technical difficulties before. My camera's burned out during a reaction, but you know, the quality that I've put out, you know, lets people understand, okay, stuff happens. But okay, man, I sure can't talk a lot. HELIUM, I enjoyed that. That was absolutely amazing. One other thing that I know wasn't super intentional that I figured that I looked at earlier was this right here. This little black thing. It almost kind of makes it look like you have a mask on. So it kind of gives me like Phantom of the Opera kind of vibes, right? Because look at that. It almost kind of adds to the dramatic flair, right? All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.